Hi there, welcome to the show. My name is Cam Steele. My guest today is Jani King, born in New Zealand, channeled for Ptah. Ptah is an entity that she channels from the star system Pleiades. Welcome to the program, Jani.
Thanks, Cam. It's lovely to be here.
This is an exciting time for you to be here, for the whole planet.
Oh, I'm really excited about being here. This is wonderful, and certainly it's an exciting time for the whole planet. Yep, I have to say.
Excellent. Now, Jani, when was your first contact with Ptah, or what put you on this path with Ptah?
Well, in a way, for me, I suppose those are two separate things. Because with my first meeting with Ptah, I had no idea that this would ever end up with what we're doing now. My first experience with Ptah occurred in New Zealand in 1947 when I was a little girl. We lived in a very remote area in New Zealand, and my father was in the timber business, and we lived in a little village that was surrounded by about 350 square miles of pine forest.
Wow.
And I walked into the pine forest one day, and there was a clearing, and there in the clearing was what I thought was this big silver house. Of course, you know what it was,
oh,
really.
Of course.
It was a craft, and I was taken aboard that craft and whizzed off. And there was a being who was on the craft, and that being whom I met again physically, you know, came again in 1961. I haven't seen him since then. I haven't seen him since then. You know, it's interesting too, the thing about Ptah being a Pleiadian entity. I think that's a bit of smoke.
Okay.
Well, that's probably a bit strong way to put it. I would rather say that the way I perceive Ptah now, after all these years, the 10 years that he's been using my body to talk, the way I perceive him now is rather that he's a band of energy which can take on physical form. He has said quite recently that he uses, no, not that he uses, that the Pleiadian energy is sort of like a portal or a gateway through which he can step down the energy to utilize my body. Now, what that means in larger terms, I don't know. And I have to say that as the years go by, I've got less and less questions about it. I mean, it just is. It just is however it is, you know.
Right. Now, you said you've met him physically then, 1961.
Yes.
Is that like third-dimensional physical on this planet you've met him?
Yes.
And what does he look like? What was
well, if anybody had asked me back then, I would have said he looked like an angel. Except I didn't believe in angels. And now I'm ambivalent. I would say angels-like beings. But he was very, and I say he because that's how he appeared to me to be a he, was tall, big, but not dense, like almost luminous.
Wow.
Beautiful. But I can't tell you what the features were like. It was such an intense experience that what I was left with really was an emotional residue, I suppose, because I had never, ever, ever experienced that total unconditional love that he is.
Now, you started channeling Ptah, I guess, was it 1989?
Around then, just before that, yeah, something like that. I can't really remember.
The time between 1961 and the time between to 1989, what was your life like? Was he always in contact with you?
No, not at all. Not at all. In fact, it was a time of terrible grief because he didn't come again. And I thought that the reason he didn't come again was because I'd done something wrong.
Wow.
And so in the end I said, forget it, you
The
know.
heck with it.
And I couldn't talk to anybody about it either because...
Put you in a straitjacket, take you away.
Exactly. Well, I mean, there are some people right now who would like to do that.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, yeah. In your travels, like we've had dinner last night, and we traveled around in conversation through. You've sailed around the world. You've done all these wonderful things. To this day, how has your experience been with Ptah? To this day, for the past 10 years, how has it transformed your life?
Oh, extraordinarily, of course. I mean, the bottom line is that when Ptah's using my body to do his thing, I'm not there. I'm out. I'm gone.
Do you remember anything that he's...
Well, I sort of do, but I don't know how accurate it is. When we were putting the first two Ptah books together, we would have Ptah sessions in the evening, and then I would transcribe from tape those sessions, and I would think, oh, well, I know what that was all about last night. However, when I came to hear the tape, I'd think, oh, this is a bit different. This isn't exactly as I remembered it. So I have to say that on some level I get everything that he says, but not anything that anybody else says.
Right.
And I don't want to know, you know, I mean, that's not my business.
I guess not. And so...
But the gift, that's what I was going to say, the gift in there for me, the gift in doing this stuff is to see the absolute transformation in people's lives.
Obviously, it's transformed your life immensely.
Yes, it has.
And now, in your travels, traveling around with Ptah and going to these different seminars and workshops, what is the experience of the people? Like, is there questions that Ptah answers that other people could not possibly know the answer to? How does he see through your eyes?
I think that he sees the totality of people. You know, like past lives, future life. But he won't give any future information per se. He says, I am not a soothsayer. Rather, his focus is to expand human consciousness. He says that we're approaching a time of incredible transformation on the planet. And that transformation, part of the transformation is this incredible expansion of human consciousness. And he says that we already have all the knowing. We already have all of the knowledge. His focus is to get everybody to look inside to find the answers. And to reflect to people ideas that become tools for transformation in their own lives. See, I don't think, the bottom line is, nobody can transform anybody. It's a choice. And if you have the tools, it's still a choice whether or not you use the tools.
And with the choice comes the outcome
Absolutely.
and the cause and effect of it all.
Absolutely.
With that, Jani, I would like to bring Ptah into the studio.
Oh, I would love you to, too.
So,
oh, you want me to bring him in? Oh, sure.
So do what you must do here, and we'll watch the transformation take place. Nothing weird is going to happen here, right?
I grow green skin.
I need to move my chair out of the way. All right.
Okay.
Okay, this is great.
Well, enjoy.
Certainly. Well, hello, Ptah. It is nice.
Greetings, beloved. How are you this wonderful day?
I am doing wonderful. Wonderful to see you.
Indeed.
Welcome to the planet, I guess that's what the appropriate saying would be.
All right, that sounded pretty wonderful to that which be I. So, my beloved, how may I serve you this day?
Well, Ptah, where are you from? Where are you from?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Indeed.
Okay. Now, I was talking to Jani, and would you explain to us, please, how you come into her body? I mentioned Palladian
You may
energy.
say really that we do not come into body. Rather, the energy that I wrap around the consciousness of our woman.
So it's is it a light you come in on? Is it any kind of a ray or?
Oh, it is simply the energy that I be. In the same way that you indeed are a body of electromagnetic energy, both in your physicality, in your emotional energy, in your intellectual energy. You are a composite, if you like, of electromagnetic energy. And you project your consciousness, project who you are by your thought and emotion. That is how you create reality. And in a way, you may say that that is how we may come forth in this fashion. It is simply a focus of the consciousness that be I. And the energetic body of that which be I is, if you like, stepped down in frequency to allow this communication to occur. Now, that which be Pleiades, grand civilization beyond your planet, that tiny little group of stars from your perspective, is likened unto a portal through which this energy may come to you. But in a way, you may say that we are everywhere at all times. And simultaneous with this communication, we are also everywhere else.
So people don't necessarily have to be here. Other people can tap into your type of energy?
Absolutely. We are simply a thought away at any time.
And can you speak with other people that are... I sit at home, and I want to talk to you.
Indeed. Be still and listen.
Will I hear you? Will I hear...
You, much of that will depend on your expectations.
Okay. Okay.
We say to be not in expectation, that we may communicate. You know that we are there by the feeling.
Feeling inside.
By the feeling.
By the feeling.
Indeed. However, that which be our words, our communication, may be that you hear, may be that you will sense those words in another way, that you will sense that which we be with a breeze on your cheek, song of bird, perfume of flower.
A slight touch, or...
Indeed.
Okay. How do you see when you're in Jani, or your energy is around Jani? How do you see us in the third dimension? Do you see us as being human? Do you see us as being lights?
We see you in every fashion. We see that which be the physicality of you. We also see the grand totality of you, that which be, if you like, the multitudinous expressions of soul energy. Not only that which be human. Of course, your soul is not human.
Right, right.
Your soul indeed is much grander than that single expression.
So we're spiritual beings.
You are indeed beloved.
Having a human experience.
You are grand, powerful, spiritual beings, gods and goddesses in truth, come forth to play this very powerful game called human life now. And of course, the truth is, it does not matter how you play this game.
How we play this game.
Called life.
Called life. Now,
there is no judgment about how you do it. Of course, our desire is that each of you will learn to create more love, more joy, more laughter, more play in your life. Our desire is that you will come to know that that you create your own reality. That which you perceive to be your exterior reality, you create it all. And in a way, that which is your exterior reality be simply a mirror, a reflection to you. And that mirror or reflection brings up a feeling. Now, where the feeling that comes forth is pain or fear or anguish, then you may, in an instant, transform that energy.
Okay.
It is a choice. And of course, that is one of our games with you, is to give you the tools to show you how to transform that energy of pain and fear to that which is love and joy.
Right. You came to Jani in 1947.
Indeed.
And then again in 1961.
Indeed.
Now, in the past 20 years, we've had UFO sightings, we've had various people talking about seeing extraterrestrials, being abducted. Can you explain to us about these UFOs? Are these part of your extensions? Are they from other worlds?
They are indeed from other civilizations. Beloved, there are millions of other civilizations out there, so to speak, in your terms. That which is the forthcoming transformation is of grand interest, because the Earth, your Earth, does not exist in solitary splendor. Your Earth is part of a grander consciousness of planets, of worlds, of universes, and your transformation is being observed, is being monitored. And so you may say, in a way, your brothers and sisters, and they are your brothers and sisters, you, that is your species, is star-seeded indeed. Your brothers and sisters are awaiting you, are awaiting to welcome you to what is termed to be a grand federation.
Why is it that these UFOs and these other beings of light, such as yourself, are not making themselves more known? Why is there not a lot of people coming down and telling us about what's happening out there?
Beloved, because out there is a story. The transformation is nothing to do with out there. The transformation is to do with your heart.
Okay.
You see? And as the more and more that you expand, the more and more that you come into your balance, that you come into the more and more love and embracement, the more that you will automatically perceive that which has been thus far imperceptible to your consciousness. You cannot perceive what you cannot absorb.
Right.
And as your consciousness expands, the more you expand, the more you know, and the more you know, the more you expand.
Okay, now, perception, there's a lot of violence out there right now in our world. Someone once said, it's how you perceive it. Do you perceive it as violence, or do you perceive it as something people are going through? Now, people are getting killed. There's crime out there. If we're beings of love, why is all this happening?
Fear.
What is
fear. You are ruled ruled by fear. And everything in your world which is not an expression of love simply is an expression of fear. No matter what label you put on the fear, whether you call it anger, whether you call it violence, whether you call it frustration or stress or anxiety, whether you call it jealousy, possessiveness, lusting after power, indeed, that is the ultimate exemplification of the terror of being powerless. And you are not separate. That which be consciousness of humanities is not separate. You are, as you regard your exterior world, you are indeed are regarding part of who you are. That which is the collective consciousness or the morphogenetic resonance that you are include to a grand measure that fear. And when you will look at the greater reality and the greater possibilities, then indeed instead of judging that violence, rather you will have love and compassion in the understanding that for all of you there reside within you a baby boy or a baby girl who does not know the most unlimited truth of you. And beloved, what do you think is the most unlimited truth of you?
Love.
That you are absolutely, in every now, no matter how it seems, you are a perfect, eternal expression of creation. And you see, beloved, love is just another name for God, Goddess, all that is. Love is another name for the source, if you like. And love is the building block of existence, without which you have no planets, you have no earth, you have no humanity. And love is the grandest truth of you. You see?
I understand. What about planetary ascension? There's talk about ascending.
Oh, beloved,
Raising our
forget
vibration.
about ascension. Do you know what it is really, all of this enlightenment business?
That's why I'm asking the question.
It is the natural result of loving who you are, absolutely and unconditionally. The planet herself is a grand and powerful goddess. And indeed, you may say that this transformation to come is a co-creation between that which is your species and that which be Goddess Earth herself. Now, as we say, when you will constantly keep in your heart and in your consciousness the knowing that you are indeed absolutely a perfect eternal expression of creation, that indeed you are gods and goddesses come forth to play this game, then you realize that you are only here for a journey. You are not here for a destination, because you already are enlightened beings, else you could not be here in this reality. So you may say that the more you love who you are, so then come the very gentle unfolding into the knowing of your grandest truth. But you see, beloved, that which is your transformation is in your future. And you do not have a future. You only have now. And what do you choose, love or fear?
Love or fear. Ptah, tell us about death. People see a tunnel, apparently reporting seeing a tunnel when they die. Can you explain that to us?
Oh, you will see different things when you die. Of course, death is a grand illusion. If you did not believe in it, you would not do it.
So you're saying that we just don't die. If we take the belief on that
what
we don't die, we
What you do
won't
is
die.
that which be the consciousness of the humanities, simply separate, and that separation is one of great integrity. Very elegant indeed, that detachment of consciousness from physicality. And then you go forth to play in other dimensions, if you like, in a way, rejoin consciously that which is the greater part of who you are. But to try to explain to you what is life after life, in a way, is likened unto explaining to a fetus within the uterus what is life after birth. You understand?
I understand.
Because it does not fit into that which be the limited box of third dimensional consciousness. However, as you have noted, those who have had the experience called death, and then have chosen to return to this dimension of reality, lose their fear of death, absolutely, because they know that it is an illusion.
Interesting, an illusion. Now, with governments, there's talk of secret governments. The Roswell 1947, I believe, was 1947, Area 51. Can you share any experiences you have with us on that incident?
We will say this to you, that which be your government, remember, it is comprised of men and women who are, so to speak, just folks. That which is the choice of secrecy is really the terror of being powerless. Because if that which be the knowing, the public acknowledgement that there are civilizations technologically thousands of years in advance of this civilization, your governments would be powerless. However, also, you are moving into a time where there will be no secrets, or where all will be revealed. And we are speaking of each of you personally. All of you hide. All of you have secrets. And that is simply fear, and it is the fear of not being enough. And of course, your government is a mirror to you. You see,
I understand.
you create it all, absolutely. So when you look at how each of you hide in fear, your smoke screens, then the more and the more and the more you will come to love every facet of you. You will not hide. Then, of course, you will all be telepathic. That is the only reason you are not in this now experiencing total telepathy, because you are hiding. And so, of course, as you change and grow, so will your government.
So quite often when we're meeting people on the street, just hello, how are you? We get a feeling of either we resonate with this person or we don't. We get a funny feeling about not liking this person. Is this what you're saying? It's part of the telepathic, it's part of the changes that are happening?
Look at how you all deal with each other. And we are not even speaking of strangers. We are speaking of lovers, of parents and children, of teachers and students, all of you hiding who you really are out of a fear that you are not enough.
And it's all to do with self-love.
Indeed, absolutely. As we said to you, that which is the enlightenment, that which is the ascension, all of that is simply the natural result of loving absolutely every facet of you. And you see, beloved, if there is any facet of you which you will not own, you cannot transform it.
Ptah, tell us about the monuments on Mars. In the most recent televised experiences, we've seen pictures of a face on Mars resembling the Sphinx in Egypt. Is that anything to do with your group?
We do not have a group,
okay.
Beloved. We, or you could say we are a group indeed, in totality. You know, there are many wondrous puzzles which are going to be coming forth. And we are not soothsayer, beloved, really, and we do not forecast your future, but we will say this. There are many wondrous puzzles. And you may say, that which be termed your crop circles, that which be termed your face on Mars, that is only the beginning. That you will know that you are not and have never, ever been alone.
Crop circles.
We wondered when you would get to that.
Communications.
In a way, you may say it is absolutely, of course it is communications. It is, everything is multidimensional, and that which are the answers, there is not one answer, there are many answers. That which be your crop circles indeed come forth to, as a trigger for you. Also, it is indeed much information which will be deciphered again in your near nows to expand your belief structure about reality.
Why is it only certain times of the year that crop circles appear? Is it something to do with the way the planet is moving around the sun?
No,
or?
it has to do with when your crops are there.
Of course.
Keep it simple, beloved.
Ptah.
Indeed.
I have wondered always about the moon. What's on the other side of the moon? I've talked to many people who wonder if there is actually something going on the other side of the moon. Can you share any light on that?
We would say that if you were to go and look, you would see nothing.
Absolutely nothing. What dimension are you from?
All dimensions unto
All
the void
dimensions.
of creation itself, as are you.
Interesting, interesting. What do you look like, Ptah?
Oh, we are very beautiful, as are you. And we
Beautiful.
can look like anything.
I've read some of the books, and one of the questions that I enjoyed was a lizard-like appearance. Is this
Beloved, that was indeed a wondrous joke that we gave forth to say that if you could really see us, you would not be able to see the green scales because of the light that we are. It is only a joke, beloved, eh?
Okay, okay. There's no
However, if we decided that we would like to look like a lizard, then indeed we would.
Of course, of course. Ptah, how often is it that you travel through down to our planet? Does it bring you any concern about what we're going through on this planet? Is there any?
It does not.
Not at all.
Not at all. As we have said to you, you are gods and goddesses playing a game called human life now. And however you play it is wondrous.
How do we stop worrying about ourselves?
Learn to love who you are.
How do we find out who we are?
You may say that to begin with, it may be rather an act of faith to act as if you really are perfect eternal expressions of creation. To pretend that you create your own reality absolutely, and to pretend that you can create whatever you desire. And then you will be astonished that the game is real and it works.
Do you communicate with Jani on a daily basis?
No.
When
We
Jani
create absolutely, the communication is however she desired it to be.
So if Jani is going through something and
That is the last time that she would want to speak with me. She is very stubborn, as are you.
Thank you. So what is classified as New Age in your perception, Ptah? We have a New Age movement. We have
We would
alternative
say
lifestyles.
it is a religion, a new religion that you are creating.
And what would you call it?
A religion.
A religion.
Indeed.
And so everything we do and everything we are is spiritual, and anything we create.
Now, beloved, one moment now. You see, from our perception of who you really are, this is a game called New Age, and you are bringing forth to this game more stories, more rules, more shoulds, more expectations, and you are all riveted by the stories. Well, the stories are wondrous, but they will not change your life. Who you are is grand spiritual beings having a spiritual experience, and there is no thing about you which is not spiritual. There is no activity which is not spiritual. There is nothing in your existence which is not spiritual. How could it be that it would not be spiritual? There is nothing in existence which is not an extension of creation, which is not an expression of the source.
What about disease? We have a disease in our body.
That is the grandest gift to you. The diseasement is simply your wondrous and beauteous and miraculous body saying, stop now. There is an emotional diseasement that you are ignoring, pushing away, invalidating. And of course, when you do not stop and deal with the emotional issues, your body becomes more and more and more in diseasement until you die. And you all run from that which be your emotional issues, the pain. You all run from it, the anguish and the fear, terrified that if you allow yourselves to feel, that you will die of the pain of it. And of course, the truth is that if you do not feel, you will die of the pain of it.
And cancer? Same thing?
Everything, beloved, everything, everything, every diseasement.
Diseasement. So hyphen ease. It's a disease in our body. Can we cure our own diseases without medicine?
You can cure your own diseases. That we would not invalidate medicine because you believe in it. But we say to you, unless the emotional issues that have created the diseasement in the first place are dealt with it, then no matter what medicine will work, it will not be a permanent cure.
Do we take these beliefs with us in this lifetime, or is it from past lives? Like, is it something we carry through our whole history as a human experience?
You have different experiences. You are living in thousands of lifetimes simultaneously. Your past lives did not happen back then. Your past lives are happening now.
Happening now. Can you
Indeed.
explain further on that?
Your lifetimes are all occurring now, simultaneously. Time is only an illusion.
Time is an illusion.
Indeed.
So
time is what you have, you humanities have created to stop everything happening all at once, eh?
But there is lots of talk these days about life and how we want to live our life. I know you've said it's about choosing a lifestyle. There was discussion last night with Jani's partner Mark about choosing realities, and everything has a consequence to our choice.
Indeed.
Now, with that choice, why is it that we have people out there wanting to choose to use heroin? Why are we having people out there wanting to choose the experience?
Beloved, you are looking at action which is simply the result of fear. It does not matter how you run and hide from your fear. You all do it one way or another. And every one of you have your addictions. And that is all right.
And what about the corporate world who places the oil, works with our oils and gases? Recently in our own house sound, just off the coast here, we have a gas company that wants to build a building operated by toxic gas. Now, with all this happening, isn't there something that Ptah and all these other beings can do to prevent all this from happening?
Why would we want to?
For love?
No, beloved, you do not get the picture. You are powerful, powerful, sovereign beings. You are gods and goddesses playing a game. You may play the game however you want. You do not need saving. You are perfect, eternal expressions of creation.
Our children today.
You are all perfect, eternal expressions of creation. Eternal.
Eternal.
Eternal. What does it mean, eternal?
What does it mean? Eternal is forever. Eternal is everything. Eternal goes on and on and on. There's no end to it.
That's right, and there is no end to any of you. So what is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you? That you die?
Lose our physical body? Is that... That's about it. That's all I can see, losing our physical body.
Well, you see, you are talking about an illusion called death. We see that the worst thing, and we do not judge worse or better, but in your terms, is simply that you choose pain and fear.
Pain and fear. Or love.
And it is the fear of lack that lead to your pollution and to your anti-environmental actions.
Creating abundance.
You are abundance.
I don't have any money in my pocket right now.
That is a choice.
That
does not mean to say that you do not have abundance. You see, lack is a perception. Abundance is not something you go out to get. It is what you are. It is who you are. And as you give thanks, indeed, each day for the riches and richness of your life, for the wondrous abundance that you have co-created all about you, if you believe in lack, look at nature. There is no lack of abundance there, and you have co-created it. So you may say that that which be your lack of money is based on a belief about money and the fear of lack. And that is a resonance, and you draw to you exactly what you are. If you are indeed abundant, and indeed in the gratitude for the riches and richness of life, and for the wondrousness of it all, what do you think the universe will support?
The abundance.
Absolutely.
Eating meat. We have vegetarians out there.
Beloved, it doesn't matter what you eat. What matters is that whatever you put in your mouth, you indeed from your heart give forth the thanks and the blessings to that which be the essence of the nourisher. And in the issuing forth of the thanks and blessings, you enlighten your nourishment and thusly enlighten your body.
So if we bless our food before we eat it.
Bless it and love it, absolutely. Of course, you know, even that which is your food is a belief.
I've heard of people
It is not the food that keeps you alive. It is love that keeps you alive. It is that sourceness that you are.
Interesting. Interesting. I've heard people living off pure energy, breathing in this pranic energy and not eating food and just living off water. Is this along the lines of the same thing, living just
They
off
are
love?
living on love.
It's a concept, Fatah, that I'm having. My body. I love food. I love eating food.
Then, beloved, get into it. But bless it as you put it into your mouth.
So with every moment we live in our life, if we go into a place of appreciating every moment, embracing every facet of ourselves, that is the love you're talking about.
We say that if you could live in your now moment, in the absolute focus, in the joy of it, and then if it is not joyful, stop and deal with the emotion. And if you could love every facet of you, then indeed, my beloved one, you will live in your eternal nows. You will live in a heaven on an earth of your own creation, playing gods and goddesses.
What's it like for you to be on this planet? For you as a personal experience?
It is so wondrous. If we did not love you all, if we did not love your planet, beloved, we would not be here.
Have you lived on our planet as a human?
We have not. But we have never, ever not been connected with your planet since you first came here.
You contacted Jani in 1947. Any contacts with humans prior to Jani as an entity that's being channeled
Not in this way that you would see.
in other ways,
Indeed.
creatively?
Absolutely.
What does Ptah mean? What does the name Ptah mean?
You may say, in a way, it is a title, the essence of this sound. You see, every sound that you create have an essence to it, and you may say that the is that which be the is the out breath of creation, and that which be the is the infinite beingness. And that is certainly in the understanding that we are absolutely a perfect, eternal expression of Source.
I must say, I am sitting here listening intently to your words, and what I'm feeling physically is I'm going through this. I feel like I'm being surrounded in this type of energy.
You are.
Interesting. Interesting. I feel it. I can feel this. It's an amazing feeling.
It is called love, beloved. And you are beloved of my heart.
You're going to bring tears to my eyes. I wouldn't do that right now. I think that
You may call them bliss drops.
you truly are a wonderful being.
I am your mirror, beloved. I am your mirror, simply that. The only difference between that which be you and that which be I is I know the totality that I am, and you are simply at this now unfolding into that knowing. That is the only difference.
The mirror effect, the reflections. We've talked about this the past little while. Can you explain further about reflections? We get up in the morning, we go to the mirror, we look what we look like, and that's it. When we see other people, what is that reflection for us in that?
The feeling. It is how it feels. Whatever you observe, whatever is reflected to you from
Whatever
your
you judge.
exterior world. Well, sometimes you judge it to be wondrous. When you judge it to be not wondrous, that is coming from a place of fear, and it is then to stop and deal with the fear. You see, in your new age thinking,
There's that word again.
that which be your judgment of negative judgment. And of course, the more you judge it, the more you do it. We would say that if you would bless it as being your divine tool to come to know more and more of who you are, then indeed you will see how it changes. Law of universe, beloved, whatever you resist, persists absolutely.
And the universe. We've just discovered a new solar system in our universe. There's talk that there's planets in this solar system. Can you tell us about that?
Why?
Curiosity?
It does not change your life. You have millions of solar systems, beloved. You do not even only have one Earth. You have millions of Earths. We give you that little one to contemplate.
Interesting. Are there other planets, beings, third-dimensional beings like us, look
There
like
are.
us? Are they in our solar system?
Those in your solar system really are either a little more advanced, and some are less technologically and in their spiritual knowing. They go hand in hand, you know.
Of course. Tell us about grays.
No.
Okay. Can you tell
You
us?
can ask why no. Because that which are the stories are fear-based and fear-inducing. We remind you that you are all gods and goddesses, that you co-create your own reality absolutely.
So
You are not victims. You have never been victims. And we will not contribute to that which promotes an idea of A, separation, and B, victimhood.
Can you tell us then, if everything is God got us, all that is, and its perfection in everything we do, when will you make yourself physically seen for all to see? Is there a time coming for that?
Perhaps.
On the third dimensional level?
It will not be on the third dimensional level.
The year 2012.
Indeed.
Lots of talk on that. Lots of talk.
That is the time frame for your shift.
Into?
What is called fourth or fifth density.
Which is a dimensional shift. Fourth, fifth dimensional shifts. How many dimensions is there?
Infinite.
So we're not limited at 13 dimensions.
Oh, beloved, there are more dimensions. You have not even mastered this one yet, so it is the talk about how many and what they are like is immaterial.
Mm-hmm. Is there such a thing as the Christ consciousness that we carry? Are you of that kind of consciousness, Christ consciousness? Jesus Christ?
We know who you are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What about Krishna consciousness, or Buddha consciousness, or Moses consciousness? It is all one, you see. It is all one. It is that which be termed these ones coming forth to show the humanities, the possibilities. What is the reality for one is the possibility for all. And you may say that the second coming, so to speak, is that which be the unfoldment of the whole of humanity into that Christal consciousness. It is really simply the recognition that you are not separate from God, Goddess, all that is. That you are a perfect, eternal extension of that.
Of course.
That is all. And that is not the end of it. That is only the beginning. You see, you all talk about enlightenment as if it is, or that gaining that which be Christ, the consciousness, as if that is the finish, that you are all perfect little beings. Well, you see, it is not, because there is never, ever, ever a time when you are not in a place of expansion.
Always expanding, always learning.
Of course, beloved, that is the nature of the source.
Christians, atheists, all these religions, quote unquote religions, are human creations.
Indeed.
Why would we create something like this? What is
You tell me, you are all doing it. We find it quite extraordinary.
I'm sure.
We are teasing you. You know, much of that which start off to be the dissemination of grand spiritual truth become a business, become a power tool. And your religions are power tools, and you co-create it. You are not victims of it. You all co-create it. And so the spiritual truths become lost in a morass of rites and ritual, of fear-based behavior. And what you believe is reality is. When you change the beliefs, you change the reality. For as long as you believe your religions, then you are locked into that very limited consciousness. That is all right. It is your experience. You may have it however you want it to be.
There is no right or wrong?
There is not.
Good or bad?
No.
Up or down?
Up or down, we will concede.
Space travel, we're exploring our galaxy more and more now. Do you, as an entity out there, how do you perceive these us traveling in space? Is it a matter of curiosity for us, do you feel, or do you feel that this is part of our own evolution to understand ourselves?
Of course it is. There is, everything is really. That would be your methodology of travel will change. You are not going too far into the unlimited
space, so to speak, with your primitive machines.
Right.
That information, that technology will come forth as you expand into knowing. Because the technology is not only that which is mechanical.
For a few minutes, Ptah, would you share with our viewers some insightful words of wisdom?
Beloved, we thought that that's what we have been doing.
What I'm saying is that I'd like to. There are a lot of people out there that are going to be watching this program, and I would like to ask of you to share some messages other than what we've shared with somebody that may be watching that will get a lot more out of this.
We would say simply this: that which you be is so grand and so wondrous. That which you be is a miracle of life, a miracle of creation. You may create in your life whatever you desire. The way of this creation is about loving who you are, honoring that which be the sourceness of you. You have no limits. Each of you contain more power than all of the atomic weaponry upon your plane. You are powerful, grand, multidimensional beings. And in this power, you have a choice in every now how your life will be. And really, you may say it is a simple choice: love or fear.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Ptah.
Ah, beloved, it is a grand joy for that which
It has been an honor to have you on our show today. I look forward to many more experiences with you.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Indeed, beloved.